Hi folks, here we are on a Saturday morning on Turtle Beach and coming to you from my living room, and it's great to have you with us. I'm very lucky to have a bright sunny day. Hopefully it's a great day where you are as well. So I've got quite a few people online already. Now today I don't have a topic. So it's sort of a bit of an open slather. It's a chance for you and me to have a bit of a chat, bit of a private chat. This doesn't cost anybody anything. Anybody can join in. Hopefully we'll get to some questions and some comments about Thailand or news during the week. Now I did get a few questions from yesterday, so I'll get to those first, by the way, and I will get to everybody very soon. Okay, good. Good questions. But I'll go through these. These are the ones that came through yesterday. What was I going to say? Yes, if you do want to ask a question, put question at the front of your comment online here. Or if it's a comment, put comment in caps. Then it's very easy for me to see. Because I'll get more comments than I will have time to answer them. Why are we starting half an hour early today? Well, because I've got something to do at 9:30, so I'm just going to have to disappear about 9:30. So let's spend this hour together well as we ponder things happening, probably mostly in Thailand. But you can ask me questions about anything. I probably won't know. If I don't know, I'll make it up. And we can just have a bit of a laugh. Are you bringing Steve? No. Steve's probably happily in bed, having his beauty sleep. God knows he needs it. If Thailand, he's probably going to turn up and accost me. If Thailand chooses to install smoking areas at its various airports, this we reported yesterday, mainly at the request of the millions of heavy smokers flying in from Far East and Middle East, will vaping and marijuana also be allowed in these areas? Well, that's an interesting question. I sincerely hope not. Thailand could and should lead the way on banning smoking in all public spaces, including airports. Well, if smoking cannabis is legal in Thailand, well, it's not necessarily legal, and it's not legal in public places. So, that would be interesting. Smoking is partially legal in public places. I suppose the airport or the smoking room would be considered a public place. And vaping, same situation. Vaping is actually banned in Thailand, so you won't be able to vape in the smoking rooms. But if you light up some cannabis in the smoking room, going to be interesting to see if anybody's going to attempt to stop you. Again, I don't think we need these smoking rooms. Just have a nice veranda with some pot plants and tables and chairs outside, and people can enjoy their habit together. That was from, who was that from? Gordon Norman, and this one is from Thailand More Than a Beach. Some of these handles are very funny. By the way, I'll talk about yesterday's program and the comments section in just a moment. A few things I need to address there. So Thailand More Than a Beach says, I'm glad to see your t-shirt came with sunglasses. Okay, I'm not sure what I wore yesterday. Obviously, it must have tickled your fancy. A Green Figaro just watched a dozen African, maybe Vietnamese ladies. You can't tell the difference between African and Vietnamese ladies. Get hauled off in police trucks from Sukhumvit Soi 4. Of course, I normally don't visit that area. I must have been lost or something. Says Marty from Las Vegas. Jackie Tan. Maybe it's time to talk about the expectations of quality of living in Thailand. Too much difference is happening and changing. Look, just about everywhere is going to change. I think a lot of people have their idea in their head about what they think Thailand is. Maybe they visited during the 1980s and they came to Phuket and there were like 3 shops along Patong Beach. Or they went to Pattaya and it was a nice little quiet seaside town. I mean, obviously, those places have changed massively, and in many ways, a lot of that part of Thailand, the very touristy areas, have really, really changed beyond what you may have seen even 10 or 20 years ago. I always say that if you still want to come to Thailand and enjoy Thailand for what you probably think it is, there is still plenty of that around. You just need to get out of Pattaya, Phuket, Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Sukhumvit Road, and Hua Hin. I think when you sort of get out of those locations, you'll still find plenty of Thailand. I've found a very, very Thai area where we see very few tourists. I like it. I like it nice and quiet. There's no bars, there's no shopping centres, but I'm not looking for those things. So I think there is still plenty of Thailand to be found. You just need to make a bit of an effort and look a little bit further. But if you like an upscale, busy, vibrant, and slightly expensive tourist holiday in a tropical location, then places like Phuket and Pattaya and Sukhumvit Road will provide that for you. Wolfgang Prassi, any update how income tax returns are made, handed in, as this process is now 1 month ongoing based on 2024 changes of tax law interpretation, different people's experience doing it. Look, good question. I'm avoiding this whole taxation issue because there is a lot of misinformation out there. And there's even some YouTubers that sort of come on and they thump the table and they say, oh, there's no such thing as changes to the tax law. And it could just be very, very toxic environment because people say, I know what the truth is. Now, I don't. I've spoken to 3 different tax lawyers. They've all got different interpretations of what they think's going on. I would err on the getting good information from a Thai tax lawyer rather than relying on anything that you read online. I don't believe any YouTubers have got accurate information on this. I've seen some people who are just very adamant about this or the other, but I think you need to do your own searching and find information. You need to do your own research because the fact is that you are going to have a very different situation from everybody else. So it really is incumbent on you to do the research and not rely on anything you see online. By all means, watch all the YouTube videos about it. There's been plenty of them, but you will notice that there's a lot of conflicting information. So that's why I'm keeping away from that one. And from Kenji Carr. Today's news brought us some key issues. Smoking lounges at airports, ? Should Thailand develop a stronger no-tolerance policy on abrasive criminal behaviour by tourists? Does it deter future tourists from visiting Thailand or increases tourism through respect for law and order? Is Thailand too tolerant and too polite to its tourists? A lot of times you will see that tourists are being treated perhaps differently from the locals. In some cases, much more leniently, but in other cases, a little bit more severely. And I suppose that's just part of being in Thailand. There are different approaches by different police on different days. If you go to the immigration office, there can be different interpretations by different people at different times of the day at different immigration offices. So I think you just need to keep those things in mind. My general suggestion is if you keep your head down, enjoy yourself, are polite to everybody, then you're not going to have any problems. That's not just in Thailand, that's around the world, and that's really just common sense. So, yeah. So that's the questions we had yesterday. I think I've got to all of those. So we will certainly now get to your comments, and thank you very, very much. Now, here we go. I just wanted to address yesterday, I have never stopped comments on my channel. We've done nearly 900 videos on TNT, and I've never actually stopped the flow of comments. I have restricted some people, I've blocked some people, I've deleted a few comments. What's happening, Daisy? She's alerting me to something, some emergency, some dog walking past the gate. But yesterday, for the very first time, I paused the comments. I didn't turn the comments off, but I paused them. Now, it's basically around a story of 4 Israeli men who have been deported from Thailand. And the problem is, as soon as you mention that word Israeli, it does trigger a lot of people and gets them switched on to a whole lot of geopolitical stuff that I don't want to address on this channel. Unless it becomes news that we need to address here in Thailand. And it's only sort of become, this is the situation in the Middle East, only become briefly something worth mentioning on our channel in relation to Thais being taken as hostages in the conflict. Now, the reason I don't want to address it is, one, there is absolutely no right and wrong. There is no black and white. There are just 1,000 shades of grey that travel back some 2,000 years. I have sympathy for anybody that's caught up in the conflict. There's no goodies and baddies. There's no black and white. There is violence on both sides. There's missteps. There's mistakes. And on both sides. And it's not really both sides. There are hundreds of sides in this particular issue. A lot of people like to paint it as a black and white issue. I don't see it like that at all. But it's certainly nothing that we need to discuss on this channel. And people were getting really violent in their commentary in the comments section. So I did pause the comments. I've turned them back on this morning. But I did warn people not to talk about anything beyond the deportation of those 4 people. Where they came from is just a matter of reporting. It's not making any political statement. So let's leave that at that. And from there, let's get on with your comments for today. I'm the first one, says Scarface. Yes, you were when we logged on this morning. You were there. Good morning from a smoggy Nonthaburi. Can you hear the engine? That's a long tail boat going past the house. The fishermen, this time of the year, they head off from just down the beach and they go up north towards Khao Lak and they stay pretty close to the shore. But as they go past, they've got their engines at full blast. There's no mufflers, there's no covers over these engines. They're just sitting out there in the open for all of us to enjoy the sound. And they go, and they sort of barely putter along. So inefficient. A couple of good outboards would make a big difference. But anyway, I'm not going to get involved. So, good morning, Tim. Have you seen the news on Pattaya Beach? Pattaya. That's how you pronounce it, not Pattaya. Tony Hatsy. Tony, I don't know what's happening on Pattaya Beach. Other people have asked the same question. So over to you, Tony. What's happening on Pattaya Beach that we need to know about? Pat Tai says, good morning from Sydney, Australia. I am not drunk. That's not me. This is the name of somebody. Let me just get some clothes on and I'll be with you in a sec. Please, we don't do this naked. Magnitude 10, good morning from Bangkok. And Brett Border. Hi, Brett. Good to have you back. Hello and a very good day to all. Still 5:30 p.m. This would be on Friday for Thailand here on Vancouver Island, Canada. And I dare say it would be a bit cooler there. John Masters. Hello, Tim. Anybody been in touch with Max, the insurance guy, lately? Can't get hold of him online or email. Okay, good comment. I will contact Max myself. I'm trying to remember his email off the top of my head, and I can't. It might come back to me. But when did I last speak to Max? About 2 weeks ago, I suppose now. So I'll see if there's any problems there and alert him to your trying to contact him. John, thank you for telling us. Scarface question, when is your new channel going to start? Oh, look, I'm very embarrassed about this. I did have this new channel ready to go. I've already started making 3 videos, which are sitting on this computer, and in various states of preparation. Basically, the last 2 months have been extremely busy. our beach houses are just fully booked out and will be so until the end of this month. There's just no space at all. Having said that, I do want to. I mean, I don't. Well, I've just been very busy. That's pretty much all it is. We dropped Grumpy Old Men because that was just one program that I just had to cut my workload somewhere. But I would like to do more videos, not just the news program, but videos about retiring here, about lifestyle, about health and fitness, all sorts of things about getting older and having a good attitude about it, etc., etc. But I just haven't been able to start it. It's called Alive and Kicking. It's sitting there ready to go, but I just haven't had time. So it's something that I hope to get around to soon. Maybe I'll put the videos on this channel and I won't start the new channel. But I've been looking very closely at my workload in regards to making videos. And in some ways it will just be easier for me to stop making the videos. But I do enjoy it sometimes, not yesterday, but mostly. And I'd like to keep on doing it and do some other stuff as well, but just workload has prevented me. Eileen Morris-Duke, hello to Eileen. Good morning from Greenville in South Carolina. Back home, Eileen, and it was great to see you and the family too recently. Brendan Sparks, question, do I need to do an online entry form or will they give me still on the plane? At the moment, there's no online entry form, Brendan. There's a proposal to bring a digital version back of the old TM6, that white form with the blue lines and the blue writing that we used to sort of scramble around. Do you have a pen? Do you have a pen? Can I borrow your pen? And you sort of, while the plane, you're trying to fill it in. So we don't have that anymore, but they're going to have a digital version of that. And they say they're going to start that on May the 1st. So we haven't had any further confirmation other than they are going to have a digital version of the TM6, which you'll have to fill in, presumably before you check in for your flight to Thailand. And we're still waiting for some sort of confirmation of when they're going to start the ETA, the Electronic Travel Authority, which seems to just be doubling up on the same sort of information you would have on a TM6. And of course, once you arrive in Thailand, you arrive at your hotel, they are going to be doing what's called a TM30, which is whereby they put your passport details, send them off to immigration to inform them where you are staying. So there's these 3 tiers of stuff, digital forms that we are going to have to contemplate, but only the TM30 is in operation at the moment. Most of that happens in the background. You don't have to worry about that. Your accommodation will be sorting that out. What's happening on Pattaya Beach, Tony Hetty? Tony, tell us what's happening on Pattaya Beach. Question, what are the next few local festivals at Turtle Beach and when? On March the 1st, I think it's the 1st to the 10th, we've got the Turtle Festival. It's the big festival for the year, well, to an extent. They have other festivals here. Certainly the Vegetarian Festival is huge. But as far as we're concerned down here at the beach, the Turtle Beach Festival is the biggest. Now, Steve Ross has built a ginormous turtle from bits and pieces on the beach, including thousands of cigarette lighters, and he'll be proudly marching that down, I believe, on the 1st of March. I've still got a few accommodations available if you want to come and stay and go and cheer Steve on from the side of the road, or you could march with him if you ask nicely. That's really a 10-day festival. They actually close off the road by covering about 100 or 200 metres of the road with a great big marquee. And so you can't go down the road, you have to go around the back road. So it is very disruptive and sometimes a little bit noisy. I might whinge about the festival, and it's not the fact that it sort of closes down the street. This is becoming a local, isn't it? It's just that all the food stalls and all the games and all the shops and all the shirts and the furniture and stuff it all sort of comes from outside the area. So when people go and buy something at this local festival, it's not really local. It's all going out of town. There's this travelling show. It's like a carnival. And they've got the carnival rides for the kids as well. But it travels literally around the country. That's their gig, and obviously they've got some situation or payment with the local authorities here to put it on, and they come here and rape and pillage, take all the money and leave town. But a lot of people do enjoy it. So that's the next event. Anil RC says, good morning, Tim. Sawadee Krap from Melbourne says, John D. Peter Nesden, good morning from cold Shanghai. Eileen Morris Duke, question, what are your thoughts on air purifiers for the home? Well, I suppose, Eileen, we're talking specifically about Thailand and related to the PM 2.5. Now, I was speaking to, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, Jet Gunther, an old workmate and esteemed colleague, a very bright young man who's doing particularly well with his particular channels and exploits. Now, he was telling me about the air purifiers, because he lives up in Chiang Mai a lot of the year, as does his parents, and he's been telling me about the success of these air purifiers. So I don't have one here. I have an air conditioner in the bedroom. I might turn on 3 or 4 times a year, and that's about it. But there are some nights it just gets really hot. Oh, a coffee. Oh!
Say he gives you that.
From the new place?
Yes.
From Pisau?
Yeah. Pisau. He say thing I buy for you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Tang Tang. This is a new restaurant in town. We've had 3 or 4 new places open up. Tang Tang. We went there for dinner last night. Yeah, it was all right. It was early days. You go to these places in the first couple of weeks, it's probably not a fair representation of how they're going to go. But a new place in town called Tang Tang. Tang Tang. I'm not exactly sure how it's meant to be said. Is that a Thai version of Tang Tang down the bottom there? But a coffee anyway, thank you. So what were we talking about? Air purifiers. I think, yeah, it's good. So air purifiers, they're a good idea. If you are in a place like Chiang Mai, and some days it can just get choking outside, yeah, stay inside and use an air purifier, and they do work very well. But you need to clean them regularly, like maybe even every day. And you'll be surprised when you look at the filter just how much goo and muck and gunk actually is in the air. So, yeah, I think they work very well. They are not expensive. You can buy them from about 1,000 baht and up. And you'd find them on places like Lazada, Lazada. I don't get any commission from Lazada, but yeah, you'll get one delivered to your house within 2 or 3 days. David Clark. Hello, David. Question, Tim, good morning. What would be your top 10 things, to do visiting around Turtle Beach? Well, I tell you what, when you come to Turtle Beach, which for you is in June, I think, we've got a guide in every place that tells you places to go, things to do, restaurants to go to, tips. We've even got a little page about creepy crawlies, people worried about what sort of creepy crawlies they might confront here. Not many, I'm glad to say. But we've got things like waterfalls. We've obviously got plenty of beaches. There's some nice restaurant locations with a view up on the hills. We've got Khao Lak about 25 minutes up the road. Well, Phuket is only 20 minutes away, and plenty of excellent beaches and restaurants and things to do up in the northern end of Phuket before you sort of get into the hullabaloo. A lot of relaxing is, I think, what people would come up here to do, and foreigners would usually visit the area because it's not Phuket. We get a lot of the overflow from Phuket, but it's a place that you come to essentially relax. But there's rafting, there's the bamboo rafting. They've got these bamboo rafts, and there's somebody there like a gondola, but bamboo. down one of the little rivers or streams. Plenty of cafes, really cute and original cafes in the area. So you sort of caught me off guard there, but yes, there is a guide in all of the beach houses. Smoking rooms in airports, says Richard Hammond, just out of nowhere. Well, yes, it looks like there are going to be smoking rooms in the airports. These are an issue worth fighting for, says Richard. Okay, Richard is pro-smoking. I think most of the airports have places for people who want to smoke, even if it's out the front of the airport where you get dropped off. I see a lot of people just having their last gasp before they go in and check in. So I'm not really sure. Pad Thai, hot date at 9:30 a.m. Definitely not a hot date. Just helping some guests. Question. Good morning, Tim. Will you be returning to Australia when you retire? Claim pension. Interested in your thoughts on this. Cheers, John. So, okay, I have been doing a lot of thinking about this. I've been doing a lot of research. Again, you can read a whole lot of stuff online, but you, as an individual, have got to find out what your situation is with your pension from your country. I'm reaching pension age. So then, beyond that, you've then got to decide, well, where are you at the time? I'm in Thailand. And what do you have to do to claim the pension and then retain it? Now, in my case, I've decided I'm not going to go back to Australia to claim the pension. If I were to do so, I'd have to go back and live in Australia for 2 years. Live there. Not go there, sort of fill out a form and then come back to Thailand and wait. I'd have to go and live as a resident in Australia for 2 years. So the question would be, what would I do? Where would I stay? I've got family there, but it's probably not convenient for me to just go and say, hi, I'm just moving into your spare room for 2 years. Had conversations with my family about this, had conversations with friends about this. Everybody's saying, hey, you're having a good time in Thailand. You're healthy, happy, busy. So I'll be staying in Thailand. And hopefully, this 2 years that I might be spending in Australia to claim the pension, I'll be able to spend those 2 years here working and putting enough aside to sort of keep me going in my latter years. So I see those 2 years. I mean, every year that I have now, I'm going to be healthier than a year in 10 or 20 years' time. So the longer, after 2 years, I would be less healthy than I would be here, just because I'm older. And so I want to spend any 2 year span that I've got close to me now here doing what I enjoy, doing what is putting money in my bank and in the sunshine. I mean, I've got a home, I've got my pets, I've got my family, I've got my partner, I've got my friends. I mean, I would be lost back in Australia. I would be, even though I'm Australian, I would be a bit of a fish out of water. I certainly felt like that as a tourist when I was there about 18 months ago. I just felt like a tourist in my home country. So I am staying in Thailand. I will live out my life here in Thailand. And at some stage, I will die in Thailand. That's the plan anyway. Okay. Hello from cold Chicago. Hi, Gail. Daisy still loves that squid. Just loves it. 808 MELZ. Comment. I support the smoking areas, especially when they may have a long layover. I get physically ill when I smell cigarettes, and I would rather them do it somewhere designated from me. Well, I mean, they don't do it in the terminals at the moment. You can't smoke in the terminals. So they are going outside, and once they get on the plane, they can't smoke anyway. So, they're talking about smoking rooms inside the airport. All I remember, it would be a good 12, 15 years ago, was in Tokyo, coming through Tokyo Airport, and they had a smoking room, and This is, I swear, they had the smoking room. It's in the arrival area before you get to immigration. And the room was, I don't know, about 4 metres by 4 metres. And it had a vent at the top with all the smoke coming out of it into the rest of the terminal. I think they've probably changed that since. Okay, Nongwa Sa disappeared. Sorry. Trying to scroll back and get to these. So many questions and comments. Samuel C. Hi, Tim. Good morning, everyone. Is there a way to find out what happened to the Belarusian guy who attacked police recently in Phuket, or the Thai English guy who kicked a Japanese guy in Pattaya? Are you just going to have to keep an eye on the news? There's so many. Well, I mean, look, every year there's some 40 million foreigners coming into Thailand. Some of them are going to misbehave, and some of them are going to end up in the news. But they're a tiny proportion of the enormous number of visitors that do come here. All foreigners don't behave badly. Only some do. Gringo Puppy, greetings from Chile, Vancouver. John Masters, anybody been... Okay, so I'm back in line here. Okay. Tony Fossey, question. They say vaping is banned in Thailand. Why don't they enforce it? You meant to wear a bike helmet when you're on a motorbike as well. Yes, you will see staff walking around behind, watering the garden and doing things. So don't go, oh, there's somebody behind you, Tim. Yeah, look, a lot of things aren't enforced, and of course with vaping you can be quite discreet. I mean, if you go to a restaurant and you have a bit of a suck on the vape and blow the smoke out the side, maybe nobody's going to notice. I hate vaping smoke. I hate marijuana smoke. I hate, well, basically any smoke. If you're going to suck all those things into your lungs, well, good luck to you. That's your choice. They're your lungs. But please don't do it near me. Why don't they enforce it? Well, I think police enforce it when it suits them. And you may be able to make a small donation to the local police cafeteria and avoid a fine. But, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be walking up to Thai police in the street and blowing in their face. Can't wait to move to Thailand next year, says Gringo Puppy, semi-retiring. Stephen Richter, hello from the far side of Sukhumvit Road in Samut Prakan. Hi from Corpus Christi in Texas. We've got people from around the world joining us this morning. Stephen Richter says, been retired here in Thailand for 3.5 years. Best decision I ever made. I came to sort of retire, but on day one, I had a job. Was with the Phuket News, not specifically the Phuket News, with a live 89.5, a radio station, and I've been working ever since. I've never been busier, never been happier. Cheers, mate. Mike from Udon Whoop Whoop. Mike Rodriguez. Hello, Tim. If you couldn't live in Turtle Beach, Phuket, would you leave Thailand or move to another location close by? Yeah, I'd move to another location close by. There's plenty of, not only different locations, but plenty of beaches in Thailand. And I'm happy here at the moment. I don't see any developments that are going to be changing the situation. Hi, Daisy. Come and say... Oh, don't come and say hello then. She's in a bit of a mood today. There she is in the background. Can you see the tail? She's heading out. I can just move further up this beach towards Khao Lak and then beyond Khao Lak. The advantage of being here is I am close to the Phuket airport. I've got, basically Phuket next door if I need it, with things like IKEA, specialty shops, immigration, and good hospitals. So having that there within 1 or 2 hours away is an advantage. So I don't want to have to move, but I may have to. When will we see the pool boy in Speedos? You're referring to me. You'll never... Oh, no, I do jump in with Speedos every now and then, but only when nobody's watching. Okay. What a sale. Love the channel. I always learn something from your news. Stephen Richter, it appears that Indian tourists are sleeping on the beach, are not staying at a hotel or can't find one. Yes, I did have somebody sent me that. Look, I mean, people do from time to time sleep on the beaches. Even here we get people coming up and they set up a tent and they sleep on the beach, and then the next day they're gone. So I think there would be a problem if people were actually sleeping on the beach every night because they can't either afford or find accommodation. I would suggest there is plenty of accommodation to be found in Pattaya. From expensive to less expensive, I will check out that story. Somebody did send me a link, and we'll perhaps do it on Monday. So, apparently sleeping on the beach is legal, says Mark. Well, I don't know if it's illegal. It's an interesting point. Again, if people are sleeping and causing some sort of problem on the beach, I imagine that would be difficult. That would be a problem. And if they're doing it regularly, then obviously they need some sort of attention or help. If somebody was sleeping overnight here with a tent on the beach, it sort of wouldn't really worry me. But if they were there day after day, I'd certainly be going to check on them. Gary Cross, good morning, Tim. Any more news on the rules they are bringing in before people enter Thailand? I think we've addressed that already. The digital version of the TM6, the new Electronic Travel Authority, neither have started yet, but the digital version of the TM6 is set to start on May the 1st. That may be pushed back down the track. We don't know. We'll just have to see. But at the moment, 93 of residents from 93 countries can arrive in Thailand and get a stamp in their visa, which will allow them to, a stamp in their passport, which will allow them to stay visa-free for 60 days, which you can then extend for another 30 days. I think that's all right. Where is the Grumpy Old Men show, Steve Ross? Okay, well, I think I've mentioned 1,000 times that we're having a bit of a break. Now, Steve and I think we've done a Grumpy Old Men twice in the past couple of months. There was one on Christmas Day, maybe it was New Year's, I can't remember. We might do another one, another special. But doing a regular weekly Grumpy Old Men, at the moment, I just can't find the time to do it. But I'd love chatting to Steve, always good fun, so we'll just have to see what happens in the future. I'd love to see a new channel. I'm considering moving to Thailand, single retired lady, so big adventure for me. I'm done with Australia, says Alison Standen. So hopefully I do get to, either on this channel or another channel, just extol some of my experiences of retiring. Well, I'm not retired yet. I'm of retirement age, but I'm not retired. I'm still happy and healthy and busy. I am 66 in about 2 weeks' time. Less than 2 weeks. Oh, my God. I'm getting to that age where things like health and lifestyle and what am I going to do as I get older, all those things become more important. And you need to focus a bit of attention on them because, especially living in a foreign country, you've just got to get all your ducks in a row. Certainly, I don't expect, nor is the Thai government going to be caring for me in any way what they couldn't care less about me. So I'll have to make sure I've got everything set up. And that's what I say to everybody. It's all very well coming to retire in Thailand, but what are you going to do when you can't go to the toilet yourself? What are you going to do when you can't toddle down to the nearest 7-Eleven? You have to plan for that time in your life, and there's certainly plenty of options here in Thailand, but you do need to plan for it. And don't pretend that you're not going to get to that stage. We all are going to get old, and very old at some stage. So let's plan for it. And the earlier you start, the better the situation will be. Anil RC, hi Tim, if I want to stay in Thailand permanently, what visa do I need to apply? Currently I'm on a tourist visa from India. Well, if you're over 50, you can apply for the O visa or the OA, also known as the retirement visa or the geezer visa. So that is a visa that you get that allows you to stay for a year, and then you have to renew that every year. Most of the visas require being renewed. Even the DTV has to be renewed. Oh dear, I've got people sending me notes. What are they saying? So yeah, the only ones that you don't have to renew is what's it called? Not the destination, but that's the DTV. The Elite Privilege Visa, which you can buy for 5, 10 or 20 years. Now, you pay a lot of money for those. And also the Smart Visas. They don't need an annual renewal. They require a 5-year renewal. So there are plenty of visa options, but Thailand doesn't have an easy permanent residency or an easy sort of journey to citizenship or things like that. Yes, you can get permanent residency here in Thailand. It is quite difficult, very expensive, but basically the cheapest way is an annual visa, which you need to renew. Peter Nesden, question, do you think these new entry forms will negatively impact smaller hotels by reducing walk-in business, as most people will book stays for a full trip online before arriving? Well, I think most of them do anyway. Look, I really don't know. But for whatever reason, countries around the world just seem to be introducing these electronic travel authorities, these forms you have to fill in online before you actually travel to the country. It's not just Thailand. I think the Philippines already have it. The UK already have it. I've seen a lot of publicity about those countries. Look, a lot of countries are doing this. And people saying, oh, people aren't going to come to Thailand if they have to do the ETA or whatever. Well, yes, they will. So, yeah, you are going to have to fill out some sort of form, probably digitally, before coming to Thailand in the future. That's inevitable. We are going through a phase around the world where the world is not getting smaller, it's getting larger again. And there are countries putting the fences up, and borders are becoming something that people are much more focused and concerned about at the moment, in some cases for perfectly good reasons, but because of that, it is making travelling from one country to another just a little bit more difficult than it was in the past. I would say things like the expensive airfares are much more liable to impact arrivals here in Thailand. This year it looks like, all things being equal, and if things continue the way they are at the moment, we will have a bumper year. We'll probably reach the 40 million foreign visitors entering Thailand, which will reach the same record as back in 2019. I think we'll probably surpass that this year. We've had a very, very busy start to the year. And if you go to a place like Phuket at the moment, where I have been, it's the only one I can really talk about, it is rammed. It has never been busier. And I think they've got an existential problem. They want the tourists, of course, but where are they going to stay? How do they get from A to B? It's just getting completely clogged. Hello from Ormond Beach, Florida. This is from John and Pimpiada. I'd love to see a video on your insurance recommendation, or maybe you've done that already and I missed it. Yes, I have done that already. Max from B Care Insurance. Max is very helpful, and he's very reliable, although somebody said he's been a bit hard to catch recently. But yeah, I am loath generally to recommend things like visa agents and insurance, because if you have a bad situation or a bad outcome with any of my recommendations, then it does reflect badly on me, and it's hard to rely on other people. Now, 5 Star Marine, for example, I can happily recommend. They are very, very good, and people always seem to have good outcomes with them. So I am happy to recommend 5 Star Marine. At 5starmarinephuket.com. I'm going to blow my nose for a moment. Excuse me. And I'm back. Ah, dear. Talk. It sort of starts to build up. What's going on here? Having coffee with Anzac biscuits. Oh, so yummy. Oh, I do like Anzac biscuits. Anzac biscuits and a cup of tea. That's what I enjoy. Get a visa consultant. Get the best visa for you. Yeah, look, I am a fan of visa agents, especially if you are getting your first visa in Thailand, your first long stay visa. I'm a big fan for using a visa agent. Do your renewals by yourself, by all means in the future, but to get your first visa, to get over that first initial hump, as far as getting all your paperwork together, the visa agents are going to make things easier. That's why they're there. That's why you pay them for that service. I recommend finding a visa agent is a good way to get started here in Thailand. But by all means, after you've done that, you can just do the renewals yourself if you so choose to do. It's not that difficult. Comment 808 Mel's. Good evening, Tim from Florida. I think the reference to Pattaya Beach might be referring to an Instagram video showing people sleeping on the beach in mats and having trash all over. Yeah, I'm not in. If you are going to go and sleep on the beach for whatever reason, or even go there during the day, if you take trash down there, take the trash off the beach. Make sure you leave with more than you arrived with. Meaning that if you see a bit of trash on the beach, pick that up as well and put it in the bin. That's what I do here every day. G-Rig, just research the air purifiers and get a decent brand. Some don't do anything. You'd have to keep the place closed too. Sure, this is air purifier. Somebody asking a question earlier. The more you spend, the better the air purifier is going to be. But even the cheap ones are going to do some good. But yeah, obviously, if you spend a little bit more, look for when you buy online, you can see if they've got 5 stars, buyer recommendations. Look for that before perhaps you buy. But that's the advantages of buying online, I find. Stephen Richter, I do walk around with an N95 mask outside now. I'm not sure where you live, Stephen. Glad I don't have to do that down here. Darren M, hit that like button and share the video. Please sub if you haven't already done so. You're doing my job. If you have, make sure you are still subbed. YouTube does weird stuff sometimes, so it's good to check. It just did one of those jumps, which it does from time to time. Vietnam Airport has a smoking room still. They do like doing that. How old are you, Mr. Tim? I'm currently 65. Just walk outside any airports, you'll smell the ciggies. Yes, a lot of people just having a last puff before they get inside. Quitting smoking is the best health decision you can ever make. Even better if you never start. Absolutely. Look, I mean, as you get older, there are some truisms that really stick. If you don't smoke, and if you don't drink alcohol, and if you do a little bit of exercise every day, and if you try and eat a healthy diet, you are going to feel better and live longer. There's no disputing this. So quitting smoking and quitting alcohol are going to be the best decisions you ever make as you get older. Of course, you're well entitled to do any of those things, as long as you do it within the law. But if you are looking at trying to have a healthy and long retirement, giving up the booze and giving up the ciggies is going to be some of the best decisions you'll ever make. But of course, those decisions are entirely up to you. Are you going to talk about the alleged rape of a Taiwanese tourist by a Thai lawmaker? No, because I don't know about it, but I will look for that news, and thank you for advising me. Indians sleeping on Pattaya Beach is a new low. Do they share a blanket? Okay, thanks, Robbie. I don't know the facts behind that story. Just somebody sleeping on a beach doesn't mean that it's something that's becoming ubiquitous. It's not that all Indians are going to be sleeping on the beach. God, for heaven's sake. When do you turn 30 this year? Long way from 30. My God, that's a very long time ago. Muang Saka. Very inspiring that you, Tim, have created a way to stay in Thailand and earn your keep there. Great example. Look, it's just, please don't see it as inspiring. I just had a need, as in I needed to fund my own retirement. It's not as if I had a business plan to move to a remote beach and start a little Airbnb business. I have a Thai business partner. You have to have that so you can have a registered business. And it just all sort of came into place. But it's not as if I planned this 10 years ago and eventually worked towards fulfilling it. It all happened quite randomly and by serendipity. Sometimes you just got to be in the right place at the right time and just go, okay, I'll give this a go. Can you tell me next week's lotto numbers? Well, if you send me some money, like 100,000 baht, I'll tell you next week's lotto numbers, okay? Hello from Fox Island River in Newfoundland, says Rebecca Adele. I think you're the first person we've ever had online from Fox River. Thank you very much for joining in. Geordie in New Zealand. Hi, Geordie. I'm a half New Zealander, so I do have a great love for the land of the long white cloud. Used to spend all my summers and winter holidays in Taupo and Mount Maunganui, and I've also spent quite a lot of time down in places like Christchurch and Queenstown. Love the place. Trevor Cunningham says Dubai has 4x4 metre glass-walled smoking areas about 11 to something high last year I went through. Issue was the extractor fan system may as well have been a painting. It did nothing. This is the point. I mean, by all means, have a smoking room inside the airport, but you've got to be able to provide the people inside with some sort of fresh air and extract the smoke out and out of the airport, not out into the airport. Tim in a banana hammock would be a sight. Oh, I see. I get it. Hey, Tim, from Frankston, the gateway to the beautiful Mornington Peninsula, says Jules K. I just scratch my nose. Excuse me. Don't want to do that on camera any more than I have to. Well, is Frankston the gateway to the Mornington Peninsula? But perhaps it is. I had a lovely house on Oliver's Hill, which is sort of the hill overlooking Frankston, and then you sort of move from there into Mount Eliza, Mornington, and then the beautiful Mornington Peninsula. Yes, I spent a lot of my youth there. I was born on the Mornington Peninsula, and I was born in a beach town, spent a lot of my time in the beach, and I think I realised that I probably spent the next 60 years of my life trying to get back to a beach. And here I am. Today is a good luck day in our Moo. Moo is like a district. All the houses connected by white string. Okay. Bill Ellis, and where do they toilet? This is talking about the people sleeping on the beach. Some of the beaches have got public toilets. Here, Thai Muang, Turtle Beach, there are public toilets, and they're actually quite clean, well looked after. So that's good. Ray Bond says, hi Tim, I just got back from 2 weeks in Phuket, usually get there once a month, but the traffic is a nightmare. Having to allow 2+ hours from Kamala to the airport has become common. Yeah, look, Phuket is just suffering under its own popularity at the moment. It's a big money spinner. And after Bangkok, I mean, the province of Phuket is the wealthiest, or the province that provides most money back into the coffers of the Thai government. And so they just keep on letting the people arrive and just suffering under the impossible amount of traffic on the otherwise lovely tourist island. Alpha Bravo, the man from Belarus that had jumped around strangely apologised and was let get home, if I remember correctly. I can't remember the story about the Bella. I do the stories every day, then I sort of forget instantly. Is Naihan Beach still a nude beach with huts? No, never was as far as I know. Good morning from Wong Pong, Thailand, says return to Thailand. Colin comment, good morning from Adelaide. Tim, the shirt is new, right? It looks quite explosive. I got these done when I had Nick working on the program, I don't know, about 2 years ago. So we got these I get them out from time to time. At the end of the day, it's a clean shirt. Hello, Tim. What is your opinion about legalising gambling in casinos in Thailand? Personally, places I would never go. I'd never go into a casino. It's hard enough to come across money, let alone make a voluntary donation to the owners of the casino. You don't go to casinos to make money. You go to casinos to lose money. More people that understand that, maybe there wouldn't be as much poverty. So I don't think it's a good thing for Thailand. I mean, Thais gamble anyway. Legalised online gambling and legalised casinos is probably just going to make the problem worse. It'll give jobs to a few thousand people. It'll give misery to thousands more. So I don't support it, but it's up to the Thai government. I think they're going to allow some sort of legalised casinos. I'll probably go to the entertainment side of the facilities, but I certainly won't be going or supporting the casinos. But my opinion has got nothing to do with what's going to happen. I can't do anything about the outcome. And I just hope the Thais avoid it like the plague. We'll do two more, then I'm going to have to run, I'm afraid. Hi, Tim. Afternoon from cool Mornington. Have you considered applying for a Thai citizenship for your long term? No. Very, very, very difficult to get. Even getting permanent residency is almost an impossible task. You need a lot of time, a lot of money, and you need to be able to speak some sort of workable Thai, because the interviews for a long-term long-term residency visa. The interview for your residency or your citizenship would be done in Thai. So I'll never be able to speak conversational Thai. God knows I've tried. Padia. Hi, Tim. In Pattaya for 4 weeks and got car to drive. The narrow streets are the worst. The numerous intersections without traffic lights is first come right of way. Too scary. We've got one of those here in town. It sort of works, but only just. Uncle Bob. Hi, Tim. Afternoon from cool Mornington. I've done that one. If you got seriously ill, would you go back to Australia for treatment? Says Robbie Krapau. No, I'd stay here in Thailand. Perfectly good. In some cases, better hospitals here. Look, I mean, it very much depends on what I had. But if I had a heart attack and needed heart surgery, I'd get it here in Thailand. If I had a stroke and needed some sort of medication and rehabilitation, I'd get it here in Thailand. Those things are very, very available here. Now, for me to access the free medical care in Australia, I would have to go back and sort of get involved in the Medicare program. It wouldn't just be getting off the plane and going to a hospital. So, I'm paying my health insurance here at the moment, and my health insurance is for life, as long as I keep on paying the premium. So I'll take my chances here in Thailand. As I keep on saying to everybody, the best health insurance you have is what you put into your mouth and the way you look after your own health. So that's the most important health insurance. Yes, you can get assistance from a company and they will pay some of your bills if you need to go to hospital. But the best health insurance you have 100% under your own control. Question, this is the last one. Brendan Lesko, question, having lived in Thailand, Phang for a while now, Brandon Lesko, when and how long does the rainy season last? Also, what's the overall average AQI for the year in this area? Is it good year round? Yes, even This time of the year is when central and northern Thailand, yes, I'm coming, is getting the worst air pollution. Here, 95% of the days, we will get a sea breeze that brings air in from the sea rather than from the land. And it's always a fight between the northeast breeze and the sea breeze each day. But here on the coast, we always get really good fresh air. How long is the rainy season? Well, the southern Thailand, pretty much the middle of June through to the middle of October. That would be what I would describe as the rainy season, where you're going to get the odd sudden storm, likely get a little bit of rain each day and a few downpours. If you drop the toast, why does it always land butter side down? It doesn't. It doesn't. You've got a 50% chance of it landing on one side or the other. It's a bit like Bitcoin. You've got a 50% chance of it going up and a 50% chance of it going down. Just the way it is. Return to Thailand, I think if you can still change hotels and certainly don't prepay them all, then you can have plenty of flexibility. KJ, hi Tim, any thoughts on the current administration's focusing on tourism as a primary economic driver? Well, it doesn't. Things like agriculture and manufacturing, especially car manufacturing and electronics manufacturing, are the key drivers of the Thai economy. Tourism comes a long way third. But hi Tim, have you ever visited Tasmania? Yes, many times. I sailed down there twice from Melbourne to Hobart and Sydney to Hobart. Going down the west coast of that particular country, whoa, pretty wild time. Planning on retiring there in under 6 years. Love your channel. I'm back to time. Yeah, look, Tassie, the only problem with Tasmania is it's so far south, it is very, very, very cold. Too cold for me. In the winter, I just remember some very cold days where I just could not get warm. That's about it. I'm going to have a quick suck on this coffee and then go and pick up my customers. How far you swim each day? Only from one side of my 5 metre wide pool to the other. Steve still can't swim and doesn't try to. No. Will you marry a Thai man? No. Alpha Bravo. Oops, I'd started a debate about personal. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you very much to Tang. New little restaurant that's opened up in town, and we'll try them out over the next few weeks. But their coffee's quite good. Not too. Some of the coffees are a bit sort of sweet, like the milk is almost sweet. I like that. That's good. Thanks for watching. I'm back on Monday with our usual program. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question, but I really appreciate you dropping in. And it means more to me than you could possibly imagine. But please subscribe to the channel. That's about the best thing you can do to help if you want to. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.